Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network here on a Thursday. My name is Neil Rule. That guy over there, four-time Stanley Cup champion, Darren McCarty in the house. We got Fish in the bowl. We got Sawyer in the booth. Joik is off. He will be off the rest of the week. Be back with us on Tuesday. But happy to have you all along for the ride here on a Thursday, as we said. Big D Energy. You guys know what it is. And, you know, D-Mac, wow. Nothing like breaking news at 1 a.m.
But didn't everything go down? And I'm sure you're alluding to the Jacksonville Jaguars and Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
You weren't alluding to the 30-mile-an-hour winds outside that might have woke some people up in this.
That did wake me up last night, as a matter of fact. I was like, man, what's going on out there? And then I rolled back over and went to sleep.
Right. And
the roof's still on, so we're good.
Right, exactly. But, yeah, Urban Meyer being fired as the Jacksonville Jaguars coach at 1 in the morning seems apropos to the way that the whole narrative of that story down there played out. And, you know, we touched on that. And, there's a couple things throughout the week that our show hasn't really touched on. But we were laughing because last weekend when he faced this former Mike Vrabel, and there was interaction where, you know, I was listening to it where it came out of the tunnel and he didn't really shake his hand, but he gave him the bro. And then after the game, he gave him the wet noodle. Like, look, if you're watching at home right now, the most disinterested person in the world. And
that's a man that knows his fate.
Listen, the Jacksonville Jaguars, owned by the Kahn family.
Who also own
AEW, who also own Premier League team.
Fulham FC, yeah.
Which one?
Fulham.
Just more money, right? Realize that in this day and age, let's cut our losses. He's not the guy, and they're going to move forward. So hopefully, Neil, for us Detroit Lions fans, this is a good day. That's a good day because they can't get anywhere, right? Somebody's going to come in and hopefully get some potential. That's what I'm talking about, Fish.
Hey, man.
That's what I'm talking about. So
it's a cold world.
Even though we're at the 13 point, right here, we're at 13 of 34. Sometimes it's not what goes on in your organization, but what goes on around you. And because Jacksonville Jaguars is a half a game out from the first overall pick.
With a huge game this weekend against the Houston Texans as well.
So why wouldn't you want the locker room, the players, rejuvenated? Because we're not just talking about a guy who is inept at his job and couldn't relate to players, but obviously players in that room didn't want to play for him. So this gives them maybe some motivation to go out and win this game. Not only for them, for their new coach or interim coach or whatever else, just because it's a new day. And in the end, we have Arizona coming in here to Ford Field. Hopefully Kyler Murray does his job, pummels us to death. Then we spread the gap a little bit here on Monday, and then we can talk about winning another game down the stretch.
Yeah, and no DeAndre Hopkins for the Arizona Cardinals for the rest of the season. We'll tap in on the Detroit Lions in just a little bit, but we are going to get into this Urban Meyer discussion. And look, Twitter and social media, it seems to be a dance party right now about the demise of Urban Meyer. And a lot of people knew. And I've talked to you guys before about my very good friend. He's a terminal Lions fan. Like there's no hope for him. He's in all the time. And that's just the way he's built. He was aggressive with it. The day that it was announced that he's like, that will fail. He's not a leader of men.
Didn't we all think it was going to fail?
I mean, yeah, everybody. He was really adamant. I was, because you know me, like I like the entertainment.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want it to work.
Well, the entertainment, and like we're mentioning the difference is the cross promotion. So a little bit deeper into the Kahn ownership and the AEW with the wrestling. Well, the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium, there's also Daly's Place where they wrestled out of during the COVID. So there was interaction, and even the pay-per-views. Chris Jericho was in the office of Urban Meyer and took his computer and used it as a weapon on MJF, which is two of the rivals right there. And somebody said on Twitter that he should have kept his computer, stuff like that. So I guess in the long run, your friend is right, because I guess being a Lions fan, a terminal Lions fan, he knows when things are destined for doom.
Right? No one knows more than him.
Honestly, but no, I think I always look at it. How does this affect the teams I cheer for? How does it affect my Lions team? And immediately when I saw that, I was thinking, wow, what a perfect way to go into a game against another team that's struggled.
And that's where it is for me, D-Mac, because this game this week, it would be huge, I think, for Jacksonville to get this win. Like maybe they come out with some energy,
it is, right? Because the universe is just.
Because I think Houston might win another. They might win another game. I don't have the schedule in front of me.
No, but to your point,
I just need them both to win a game.
This is what people have to remember, because I have to do a little translating for you as you do for me sometimes. But it's once that first overall pick is locked up for the Detroit Lions, Neil says go on a winning streak that you can win. It's not that. It's just he wants that in the bag because that's the most valuable asset for the Detroit Lions
business
that they can have. It's just strictly business. So when I look around, who are our nearest competitors? Houston,
and Jacksonville.
For that first pick. They're playing each other, which is a good thing. We were talking all along beginning of the week, Houston's going to go out. They're probably going to win. Trevor Lawrence looks crappy. But when you make a change of a coach, especially a coach that wasn't liked, I mean, you read for the people at home pretty much some of the interactions of the players coming out. Like one of his kickers said that Urban Meyer comes to him while he's stretching before the game. And
Josh Lambo. I know Sawyer had that up just a couple minutes ago.
Not a nice name, Dip.
Here it is, D-Mac. Josh Lambo, former kicker, says, and for those of you listening on the radio, I'm in a lunge position, left leg forward, right leg back. Urban Meyer, while I'm in that stretch position, comes up to me and says, hey, Dip bleep, make your effing kicks, and kicks me in the leg. Lambo spoke for the first time publicly about what he said happened to him in an interview with the Tampa Bay Times. It certainly wasn't as hard as he could have done it, but it certainly wasn't a love tap. Truthfully, I'd register it as about a 5 out of 10, which in the workplace, I don't care if it's football or not, the boss can't strike an employee. And for a second, I couldn't believe it actually happened. Pardon my vulgarity. I said, don't you ever effing kick me again. And his response was, I'm the head ball coach. I'll kick you whenever the F I want. Like that was
college, isn't that college sort of mentality that we hear about, more of the dictatorship or more of the it's my way or the highway that works?
No, absolutely. Which was my thing with where I've talked before about when you come in a locker room, and obviously the locker rooms are different, the different sports, all those kinds of things. Those guys are millionaires. Like those guys are making as much. Some of them are making more money than you are. That's where the X's and O's don't matter. And check, mark me, D-Mac, on this. The X's and O's don't matter as much in the pros. Is that a fair statement? They matter, but do they matter as much as they do in college?
Here's the whole thing, right? Here's the caveat. This is D-Mac, next level, intermediate class, right? Because what do I always say, Robert? Follow the money. Well, in sports, right? Follow the money in life, follow it everywhere. But the money in professional sports is winning, right? That's also money. So to your point, the X's and O's, when the balance outweighs, when the personality and the negative, it's positives and negatives. This says we were all raised, my parents said, well, when you're going to make a decision, what are your positives? Write them down. What are your negatives? Write it down. The X's and O's can carry you, Neil, to a point. But when the detriment, right, you can't hide it. Right, because you got more people that don't care, that have money, that are making more money than you are. So and it's all about respect. When I see different things like this, it's all about how you treat people and with respect and different things. I mentioned to you, this smells a lot like somebody else that we know. Just as far as that, I wondered, and I said this too. I wondered if Mike Babcock and Urban Meyer.
How do you play for a coach you hate?
Etiquette.
How do you play for a coach that
you got to take and I talk from my experience, so I'm different because I was like the hired gun coming back in, and I always talk about the stuff that happened with that Chelly talks about. He was there, but the Franzen and the way we're talking about. Franzen's concussions and things that have come out about Babcock, about how he treated people. When you win, it's allow cool. That to happen, right? So when I came back, and you could see the tension, but it was all working towards a goal. I mean, I say it when I look back in hindsight, I can see that in a way we won in spite of them and lost because of them in '09. And I say that because the way that I view that he overused Zetterberg and Datsuk and stuff, but then it comes down to ego. And I think that that's the biggest thing that I see here is that the greater than the whole ego, right? Where you hear these little comments, and this is just one little snippet of different things that we've heard about. Because even your friend, the diehard Lions fan, lifelong Lions fan, we can see this. We're not dumb. We're just... It's like we just got the worst addiction there is.
Right, we're just terminal.
We're terminal. That's what it is. So it comes down to people. And at the end of the day, I think that also too, right? In 2021, you can't coach like you did in 2011. You can't like 2001, like in the 90s and stuff like that. So it's to me, it comes down to compassion and respect. And obviously, nobody really ever thought. It's the arrogance, right? And it's the arrogance that I'm better than everybody else. And that wears out. And the X's and O's in
it wears out.
The X's and O's in pro sports, if you don't win.
Bingo, there you go.
If you don't win, because winning cures everything.
And I'm not saying that's right or wrong.
And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but that's sports. So when you follow the money, follow the winning that goes into. That's lesson number 2.
No, it is. And people are saying all over the media right now, why did it fail? Why did Urban Meyer fail? I can bottom line that for you. He failed because Jacksonville sucks. Like, that's why. And, college coaches are like, well, the college coach things never work. Well, think about when a new coach comes on the scene. Why are they getting a new coach?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Because they stink.
And here's the thing: when we're all looking at it, scratching our head, is going, okay. When you bring a new coach in, like we did here, what you're trying to do is, even if you're not talented, it's not about the wins and losses, it's about the culture. It's like, you want Urban Meyer culture in Jacksonville. Try
but
it
if
out.
he won,
because it's the same thing too, Neil. It's that it may be different this time. Or he can do it here now. My question to you, that you're going to answer me is we know he's going to pop up somewhere probably, right?
1,000,000%.
Does he go back to TV and then back to college? Because
that'll probably be the route.
You got to think he's done in the NFL now.
You would think, yeah. I mean, you would think, unless he goes back to college and pops off. But the bottom line through all this is, if the Jaguars were 10-3. Josh Lambo, people would have said, well, Josh Lambo is just bitter that he got cut or he got traded or whatever, and what did Josh Lambo really ever do? That would be the narrative. The winning clears it all in professional sports. It does, and the reason he's fired today is because they're not winning. That's what it all boils down to. And guess what? If Dan Campbell doesn't win football games, he'll be gone too. That's the nature of the beast, D-Mac. There came a day where... And every athlete, everybody, even in this business, the day where our show isn't good, guess what they're going to say to me? Show's not good, man. See you later. That's the way it works in this field, in this business, man.
No,
bottom line.
What have you done for me lately? And it's just, it's one of those things. To me, I sit here and I go, well, you know what? Okay. We got Dan Campbell, and we got time. See, we got the clock, right? We got the clock, and we know what the contracts of our guys. And watching all this schmozzle go down, in Jacksonville, we got our own issues here in Detroit, but they're fixable. And there's compassion, and we see guys laying out, playing hard. But
there's still questions, though. But Dan Campbell, can he coach? Like, that's the question.
Okay,
they know Meyer can coach, but he can't handle people. He's kind of a...
But he can't coach unless it's a perfect scenario. That's what I'm saying, Dan Campbell. But here's the thing. I like our situation. I like
this spot better right now.
I like his spot better, and that's why I look for, as I will this Sunday, progress. And I'm looking for progress in coaching that I can see, the timeouts, the clock management, the play calling, different things like that. But yeah, I wouldn't want we just went through, didn't we just go through what they went through with Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn and stuff like that? So I guess I'm I'm grateful to be in this position.
Absolutely. On our YouTube chat thread, you can tap in on the YouTube channel. AC had the best comment, I thought. Now Urban's free to go to the Sun Bowl with Terry Foster. So, I mean, that's a positive for him. And he'll have $20 million buyout or whatever that number is. Pete Smith's got one for you, D-Mac. I'll never forget the first 2 losses to Vancouver in the playoffs when Scotty went around and kicked all you guys. It was the kick that you guys needed, right?
Yeah, it was Scotty kicking us. Get out of here. That's exactly.
Obviously, right?
Other than us just going, hello, we haven't played. If we want to play, we can win. And that's a different experience in the locker room. And to that point, that's where Scotty didn't have to say anything. Because you've been there, you've won 2 cups. You got the Hall of Fame team. They don't have that in Jacksonville.
No, they certainly don't. But I'll tell you who is a Hall of Fame when it comes to sports betting. That's mybookie.ag. And guys, they got the best offers, the best promotions, everything going on. You can get in on whatever you want to in the sports world. Right now, they'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000 with the promo code Woodward. You've heard me talking about this now for months. All right, maybe you've been sitting around thinking, man, I want to get in on the action. I'm going to watch these games anyway. Just tap in with MyBookie and tell me it isn't a hell of a lot of fun having $10 riding on the Army-Navy game if you're sitting there watching it anyway. The answer is yes, it is a lot of fun. So jump on in with mybookie.ag. Again, they'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000 with the promo code Woodward. UFC, boxing,
bowl games start tomorrow.
The bowl games start tomorrow, everyone. The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. No word if Terry Foster will be in attendance. No word if Urban Meyer will be in attendance. But if you want to get down, Washington State and the U at the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. It's on at like noon on CBS. You're going to be watching it. What else are you going to be doing? Get down on mybookie.ag. One more time, they will double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000 with our promo code Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Have a problem with gambling? Call the Problem Gambling Helpline, 1-800-270-7117.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Fish in the Bowl, Sawyer in the booth. Joik will be out until next Tuesday. He'll be back with us. But I am... And there's tons of comments here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you tap in on there. If you're listening on the radio, 93.5 The Roar, Detroit's newest all-sports station. Welcome on in, 99.1 FM, 98.7 HD2 as well. Happy to have you wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching, consuming the show. Don't forget about our podcast page as well, Big D Energy on iTunes. Click subscribe, and it is on in there. But social media, as you might expect, having a field day with Urban Meyer. My favorite one is somebody tweeted out a picture of Urban Meyer standing next to Aaron Hernandez, and they said, who would have known that Aaron Hernandez is the better person in this photo? I mean, everyone's piling on right now. I don't know if I'll go that far, everybody.
Wow. The internet's undefeated.
Yeah, they certainly are. Austin Lord Apollo 17 Fish, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on this one. Says Urban's going to go to the CFL. Which Canadian Football League could you see Urban Meyer coaching?
I mean, probably any of them. Maybe like Edmonton. I think they fired their coach. They got like 2 wins.
Oh yeah, so, that cold will just that'll just serve him. He's gonna end up back on Fox. I would think.
I mean, anywhere in Canada is cold, so.
Well, he goes to BC where the dome is. Then maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's where it is.
Yeah. I picture him more in Toronto.
He'll be coaching the Lions, but the British Columbia Lions.
But the BC Lions. No, but D-Mac, and I heard people saying that he'll be back on Fox, and I think it's a little
They'll
warm.
probably just do a swap with Bob Stoops and Urban Meyer.
Yeah, they
Swap
could. They
them
could,
out.
I guess.
Bob Stoops at Oklahoma, right? Did he end up taking that job?
Well, he's in
for the bowl game.
For the what'd you say? The coachless bowl.
the coachless bowl, Oregon versus
Oklahoma.
and the headless coachless bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. Right away too. AC Fish watches cricket. Nice hoodie.
I do. I will be watching cricket tonight probably. So I'm all in. I'm all in on anything and everything. Anything I can get my hands on, I'm in.
Absolutely. Now
We got a noon bowl game. I know what you guys will be watching. That TV right above you guys.
I know.
Toledo and Middle Tennessee State.
I know. I can't wait. I literally can't wait.
The Bahamas Bowl where there's like 5 people that go to that game.
Absolutely. I don't think he'll be back on television this year. Like right now, I think the temperature's a little warm.
Oh, not right now. Not meow.
Yeah,
but
probably next season.
Year.
Yeah, I would say that. Joey 2 times. Urban's probably going to buy a bar in Columbus, and let's go. You guys tell me what's next for Urban Meyer.
Well, I like what
YouTube
Jenna
chat
said.
thread.
Jenna said that if prostitution is legal in Canada, and we have a desire to go there, and I said it is, isn't it? And then you started saying that.
I don't know. We'll have
into
to
that, good
we'll have to get
fellas.
up to the legal team on that one. Nenson says, I see him going to an ACC school like Florida State or a Big 12 school where he will not be having much competition. So basically do the Lincoln Riley plan and go to the Pac-12 and then just kind of cruise and just have to beat one school
And get
move
your
on.
private jet paid for 24/7 with your family.
Right. D-Mac, are you surprised the Deion Sanders thing? Flipping the number 1 or number 2 overall recruit in the nation. Are you surprised how much people have weighed in on this? I mean, it seems pretty seismic. We talked about it yesterday when the news dropped, but I didn't think there was going to be the reaction that there has been.
Well, I mean, is it that big of a coup when you listen to Deion talk and you listen to the fact of what he's building down there at Jackson State? And you're the top, 5-star best cornerback in the country. Why wouldn't you want to go learn from the best cornerback of all time? And especially from a distance, right? It's not like, hey, I'm going down there to do this. I'm going to, he's putting the work in. He's putting the 11-1 big bowl game this year, stuff like that. So I think that I like it because this is the positive of the NIL. Right, we're hearing about NIL being so bad or not working out. Well, Deion Primetime is going to figure out how to primetime his program with these, and he's not selling hope. So I love everything that comes out. I think that the quote that yesterday about having to eat all when we grew up, we had to eat all of our food before we go out and play. We had to finish our homework before we go out and play. We couldn't quit anything. I think he's instilling that foundation. I think it's absolutely the opposite of what Urban Meyer does when he goes in and tries the dictatorship, is that Prime's doing it his way. That's what I see. I see him doing it his way and being allowed to do it his way and having a true influence, right? Even to the fact that we were talking about this before. The little things from, look at kids' names on the back of their jerseys. Because why? Because then your baby mama, then your mom or your dad would be proud to see that. Now, they'll be taught in sports that it doesn't matter what name's on the back. It's about the crest on the front. We all play for it. But, yeah, there is a pride that goes there. And Deion, to even be in prime, it says, I'll pay for it. What is it,
Everybody in the
$5 a
swag,
name?
yeah.
I'll pay for all of them. And even to the fact where there was an interview and he had one of the kids stand up, and I think it was Miller Jr., but it was just one of those exhibition plates, so
Right.
easy to do. But I think that's sometimes, like we said, it's amazing that nobody brought that up. I think, to me, we have it already in hockey, and I don't really comment outside of my sport because history-wise or whatever like that, the way it's done. But no, I think this is part of the 2021, and I love what he's doing. Because I love the message, and I follow him and listen to what he says, and it's so poignant. So, leader of men, and now they're coming. If you build it, they will come, and he's proven that. So,
Yeah, and I like what Joyke had to say about it yesterday, and we're talking about Travis Hunter. Number 1 or number 2 overall recruit in college football was lined up to go to Florida State. On signing day yesterday, said, no, I'm going to Jackson State to play for Deion Sanders. And shockwaves were sent through all of the high school and college recruiting circles. It's been the hot topic of discussion all day today. And there was talk, too, about a name, image, and likeness deal that was done, that maybe wasn't done or whatever. But, you know, the bottom line in all this is it's a new day. And
it's a new day. Yes, it is.
It is a new day, though. I mean, D-Mac, you look at Urban Meyer and you look at that style, you look at that personality, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is the way, and this is... Joyke brought up a good point to say, why wouldn't he go play for Deion Sanders as a defensive back?
That's what I said.
See, people want to talk about that. We're like, well, he won't get the competition. He won't, how will this hurt his draft stock and everything like that?
How about the one-on-one time in practice?
Exactly.
Like you can't that you can always play up and be pushed and whatever else. And obviously, you don't think Prime doesn't have this kid in his back pocket because now this is like his project, his next guy. That's what us as athletes, no matter if you was how successful or whatever, to pass it down any of the knowledge. When you see he obviously sees something in this kid in himself, right? And he's going to help him push that. And I get that, right? You want to help this. So, are you kidding me? The hours that he's going to get just in a conversation, picking his brain, is going to help him even more than what? Lining up against a 5-star wide receiver. That'll come. If you're good, you're good. And that's what Prime sees. Yeah,
I would certainly agree with that. JGB says Urban's going to have his own reality television show. And we're asking people on YouTube chat thread, what's Urban Meyer going to do next? Sam says Urban's just going to go to his restaurant to, quote, be with family. John Dawson, Neil Toole has to have the most fake laugh. All right, John. I'll never. That will never get old to me. I'm here with my family. Brian Kelly, man, that guy. Robert Colosia says he already owns that Dirty Dancing bar he was at. Juice's Ghost. Urban's going to go to Thailand and get caught with a lady boy. So I mean, who knows? Who knows what Urban to UCLA? Urban's going to take time to be with his family. So it's across the board right now, and it's for me. You see the difference. You do between these two. It really signals at times, D-Mac. It does.
Well, it does too. And what I love is it's the evolution. You look at like what Coach Prime is. Forget the player that he was, right? Like all those credentials and stuff like this, but the evolution and the evolvement, right? Like I always look at the person, right? He played baseball. Right? He played baseball where he's able to, like you said, he's prime time in football and he's Deion in baseball, right? So to me, that's a guy that you want to follow that has done that and sort of made the mistakes or watched the mistakes being made. Now he's not going to make them. And to be able to pass it down, I mean, who knows because Neil, the big thing is whether or not the rules are in place that he can use all the influence that he wants to get all the stuff. We mentioned it earlier. You not think John Wooden back in the UCLA days dropped money to get Kareem out of...
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just didn't go to New York City to LA.
This is the legal way to do it now, and up front, and the evolution of, that, and that's one thing which gets me thinking. I know gets me off track, but you know what? Props to Jim Harbaugh, because what we've seen is him go from more of an old school into evolving into what Deion has done, right? You know what I mean? So in that to the success, so you got to give him props to that.
AC says, I'll give you 1.5 million reasons, Neil. And that name, image, and likeness money was always there for him. No matter where he went, he was going to get that because, being a number 1 overall player. And I saw this in the chat thread, too. People were talking about that name, image, and likeness is bringing parity to college football. I mean, it's available across the board. So I don't...
See, here's, to me, what it is, right? Where Deion can dictate, right? Because he's primetime, right? He's been in that commercial world all his life. So he can give you direction of what you want or what you don't want to put you with the sponsor or the.
Well, they can't. Like the rules are the university can't. The coaches can't.
Okay, but somebody can get in his ear,
right?
Because here's the thing, you want these to be win-wins. Right, you want whoever's shelling the money out, or the booster or whatever else it is, to be put in the right direction. So I don't know. What does Dion just leave a list and then accidentally is dropped or something like this? Neil, like schematics, or whatever.
Pat Riley says Dion was really good at being fast. How is that something that you can teach others? That man. Ask anyone. Ask Jerry Rice. How good of a defensive back Deion Sanders was.
He was fast, but what made him is his ball skills and his he knew the routes. You know, he broke down. Like you can't be that good just on talent alone, Neil. Even no matter how many times you throw that football at those pins.
Yeah. Dave Schultz, I think, says it well. The kid got the nil deal, gets coached up by the best, and Primetime has promised to take him with Florida State next year. So then he gets the big press. I don't get that. How is Florida State's coach still there and Deion Sanders isn't? I would have did that yesterday. Hey, you know what else you should do? And you should have done this yesterday, too. But if you didn't, you can do it tonight. Slide on through the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck, home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Host your corporate party, team building event, or just come on in with family and friends. Take advantage of the open play options. You can reserve private lanes as well. Any way you want to do it. As Tupac used to say, how do you want it? You can do it at the Foaling Warehouse.
How do you need it?
They got over 100 beers available, multiple full bars, a $2 mystery beer vending machine. Our guy Sawyer pulled a Pabst Blue Ribbon out of that for 2 crisp $1 bills. Feeling hungry? Bring food in with you. Have it delivered. However you want to do it, you can do it at the Foaling Warehouse. Your coworkers have done it. Your friends have done it. Your family's done it. They've told you how much fun it is. Go see for yourself. Go get your Foal on. Go to FoalingWarehouse.com.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. Did you know mortgage rates are still at generational lows? If you haven't refinanced your home loan yet, there's still time. Now is your second chance to refinance. You could lower your monthly payment, eliminate credit card debt, or even take cash out by using your home's equity. Call Hall Financial now to get started with your free 5-minute mortgage review. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty in the house. Joik Bell will be back on Tuesday. Our YouTube chat thread on and popping as it usually is. Detroit Dabber 313 says Urban's going to roll him a smoky after getting fired on his day off. AC, I love Brian
Friday.
Kelly. T Grizzly Bear, no Neil hate will be tolerated. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. You got my back. That's fine. That's fine. The check will clear no matter what. The check will clear. Hate, love, check always clears, D-Mac. So, JGB says Urban Meyer's going to start making self-defense videos. What's Urban Meyer going to do next? You know, just fire those off as they kind of pop in your head. Go ahead and send those our way. But, you know, we've been talking about this, and we got into the discussion yesterday where the COVID discussion, and I know you can't have a COVID discussion without it turning a certain kind of way on chat boards and in social media and all that stuff. This is independent of all that. As we continue to see it grab hold of the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, what's your level of concern for the college football playoff? The Bulls are not as much at risk because people don't really care anyway. You know, they can move on with whoever.
They don't. That's funny. You don't care because like whatever's going around and Omicron or whatever the COVID, because that cares. You know, right. Do I think? I mean, the way that it's spreading around. You know, look at the Wings play tonight, Carolina. They're going to be down a couple guys. You know, like not just out of the lineup, two guys in their lineup, right? So for whatever reason, that game's not canceled. 18 Calgary Flames coach. So it's real. So wherever it pops up, I wouldn't be surprised. But what I am eager to see is in this first week, right, in this next week, is there buzzing going on? Because I would assume that, well, no, I mean, that's making an ass out of you and me, I guess. But I would assume, I was just going to assume the NCAA, and then I just stopped and said, well, you can't assume they do anything. But you would think that if this is as where it's getting to, aren't you going to want to seclude teams? Aren't you going to want to bring them in early or do something like this? So we might hear stuff like that. But yeah, how can you not be like right now? If I was going to, I mean, I think it's coin flip. The way that everything's been evolving, the more cases, the more this, the more that. You know, the big thing is I think it's not as serious as far as people dying, but obviously people are getting hospitalized. But again, it'll be interesting, Neil. But if I was a betting man, and I am, I think that you're going to see some bowl games affected. I just hope that the national championship game is. But right now, I'm 50-50.
Yeah, and that's, I think in my heart I knew that. I think in my heart I think that as well. But when you hear it verbalized,
you don't know. That's tragic.
It is, man.
No. It is. It really is. And that's why. And every time I go to think that the NCAA is going to do something, I always think about it's run by an energy guy, and then that doesn't really comprehend. But I would think that they try to protect the Final Four teams as much as they could, no matter what they would do. So I would hope these conversations that we're having, they've had already for a few weeks.
There
but
is
I'm
a lot.
not confident in the NCAA. Darren McCarty.
There, you know, it is amazing between that, right? Like the COVID kind of hanging in the air, and we don't know exactly how things are going to be. We're already seeing it's taking its toll. The Red Wings tonight without two players for the Carolina game. If they end up playing that game, I mean, you don't even know.
No, you don't even know. Almost like game time decision and stuff like this. So
the game itself is a game time decision.
And here's the big, Neil, at the end of the day. The biggest temperature gauge is the NFL, as always, because they're the big. So until they set the precedence either way, one way or another, cancel game, this is what we're going to do. We're going to what you suggested is why are we still testing vaccinated players if it's all in the pool? Like these conversations. So once unless it's a health hazard, unless it's something that, you know, the day of or coming up to it, affects individual bowls, until the NFL makes a decision, I think that's when things will fall on the wayside. Or one of the major sports. Basketball could too. It doesn't look like, obviously, I was saying the NHL's doing anything, so everybody's full speed ahead.
Right. And Pat Riley says NFL's policy on COVID is everyone gets vaccinated. Then everyone gets COVID. Then we keep getting paid. No real safety protocol dollars. But just come out and say that.
Yeah.
Just come out and say it. And that falls in line with my whole, either or plan, where yesterday, if you didn't catch a show, I said either we have to quit testing vaccinated players that are non-symptomatic, or we have to shut the things down because it's not real competition that we're having. And Pete Smith talked about Michigan's hockey team last year. Had to pull out of the NCAA tournament, man. Think about that. So, and I remember, too, when last year Oakland got to the Horizon League Championship game and played Cleveland State, there was the discussion of everybody that loses your conference championship game, just kind of hang out for a minute, and if the champion team goes down, we'll have to slide in another team. Like, it was, those were plans. Like, that was talked about.
Right. That's it. So I think the transparency, right? We're adults, right? We've been through this. It's almost like you're trying to protect the kids still. We're 2 years into this. There's no protections. This is where we're at. And I think that everybody looks at it and how many dollar signs do you see here? And you're right. Follow the money. So I think it's the frustrating thing, Neil, is that we all know as human beings that live in this world what's going on around us, what's reported, how we got to sift through it. It'd be nice to see if the leagues that are responsible come out and set a precedence for safety. But until the dollar fits in there, they're not going to do that. It's just the way it is.
It is just the way it is all the time. And again, it's just something to kind of think about, where it's in the back of my mind, man, and I'm terrified for it. And I just don't like the way that things are progressing, and it seems to be getting worse every day. And I don't know. I don't have the answers. I'm not paid to know the answers. So, I got nothing for you.
No, I mean, it's just a conversation we wait
Right.
and see. Hopefully that the more that they get off, maybe because it's winter time and it cooled down. Remember that all thing that it's supposed to slow the variant or whatever. Who knows? Just to get the one thing is that I did see that somebody in Britain, England, first person that died from this new variant, but at least in my opinion. From what I see, there's people that are hospitalized, but the vaccines are working. So people that you might get this, but you're not going to die from it.
Right. And, it would be a shame, too, to see it all go down like that. Just keeping an eye on things and keeping you up to date as I peruse mybookie.ag. Georgia Bulldogs right now an 8-point favorite, and that seems to be about the number, 7.5 to 8-ish. Certainly that can change at any given time. Michigan State now a 1.5-point favorite over Pittsburgh. So I think the sentiment out there amongst the investing community in sports is that Kenny Pickett will not be playing.
No ticket.
Yeah, and Kenneth Walker probably will not be playing as well. And that's just something, we were talking about name, image, and likeness and all that stuff. This is the yin to the yang.
Knock both teams' queens out of the play right early. We're going to play with rooks and pawns.
Rooks and pawns the whole way in.
Rooks and pawns. There's another bowl name.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, though, do want to talk about the Detroit Lions, their matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. Some news has broken out of Cardinals camp, and Dan Campbell had some things to say, too. Draft talk starting to heat up. And, for me, on the weekend, chilling at the house, D-Mac, you know how I like to do it. This guy, right here.
Oh, wait.
That
a little
bottle.
Bit lower than yesterday.
Yeah.
Aha.
Somebody's been getting into it right there. Somebody's been getting into it.
I know who it wasn't. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me
I
either.
remember when I used to drink and used to say that's somebody.
Yeah. Gypsy Vodka is Michigan's gluten-free vodka. Took exploring 50 different formulas. Countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy is the best tasting, smoothest vodka on the market. It's gluten-free, corn distilled 6 times. It uses artesian spring water.
Ooh-wee.
Support local guys from right here in the state of Michigan. Try a bottle of it today. Ask for it by name. It's Gypsy Vodka. As always, drink responsibly.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Joyce Bell will be off until Tuesday. Don't forget, our Stuffa Studio is still going on. You guys have until tomorrow to pull up on the Woodward Sports Studios, 34915 Woodward Avenue. We're right in the heart of Birmingham. A lot of you have already come through, and look it. I
went with the Star Wars. My first 2-time repeater in Baby Yoda. On here, we got the Nerf guns. I saw you with the 4-pack. I told Sawyer, I'm so bad at shooting in Red Dead Redemption 2. I need a 4-gun like this.
4 barrels, baby.
Shout out to the U.S. Army, and you can never go wrong with a puzzle. Never go wrong with a puzzle.
No, you really can't. You really can't.
I like it. This is like the little. This is like a 7 and 8-year-old's dream.
It's like the perfect playroom.
It is. Got the light bright over here as well. The only thing, The only thing I was worse on than the light bright was the Etch-a-Sketch. Shout out to everyone that can draw stuff with an Etch-a-Sketch, because I cannot. I have the college basketball here as well, but we're doing it here.
What about your Meyer truck? Talk about your Meyer truck,
you got a
bro.
Meyer
Did
truck in
anybody
front of
else,
you.
by the way, when I was a kid, I loved cars, like
Yes.
Matchbox, Hot Wheels, like everybody else did. I loved semi-trucks when I was a kid.
No, absolutely. And does it go back to the road trips? Because we're old enough,
Right.
that we had the station wagon with the seat in the back that faced backwards, and you used to honk the truckers and all this. But the thing that I loved about those is that they were cast, the metal, right? The cast metal on them or whatever. So it felt like, even you're a kid, it felt like you walked up to a big truck and touched it, right? You know what I'm saying? Not just a plastic garbage thing or whatever, but I loved them too, bro. I loved them too.
Yeah, I pulling the trailer. I remember as a kid too, like backing it up on the little road that you make. Dude, it was great. I love the semi trucks, man. I don't know why, I just did. But we're doing it here again. The address 34915 Woodward Avenue, right in the heart of Birmingham. 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. today and tomorrow. And remember too, if you can't get down here to donate a toy, go to woodwardsports.com. We have the Venmo on there, and you can get involved that way as well. And just trying to do it for Mott Children's Hospital. And those of you who know, a lot of those kids have been in there the entire year. They haven't gone home. They're not going home for the holidays. They're not going home for Christmas Eve or Christmas. That's where they're at. So whatever we can do, man, to maybe make that a little brighter, certainly we can do, and we appreciate every single one of you that's come through here. It's really been cool. In the day and times we're living in right now, those are some of the things that make you feel good, and I'm happy that everybody is doing that. Lions hosting the Arizona Cardinals. That line down to 12. No DeAndre Hopkins. He's out for the rest of the year for Arizona. And D-Mac, Cardinals are 7-0 on the road. It's hard to go through an NFL season and win every road game. No DeAndre Hopkins. Kyler Murray in December. The line keeps going down. I'm not calling it, but my concern grows. Is that a fair statement? My concern grows.
No, it's not fair.
Okay.
This team plays better on the road. This team lost a big game against the Rams on Monday night. They got to come in here, and if they're going to make that step, and here's the thing, Neil, the question is, do you think this is the same old Cardinals? That's what you're telling me. It's the same. You're expecting.
Are you okay?
I think Kyler
independent
Murray,
of this game. Independent of this game, the Lions Cardinals game. Independent of that, are you getting that? Are you getting that Cardinals December feeling from the Cardinals? Are you starting to get it?
Not yet. No,
really.
I got it from Georgia. When you say Georgia's going to Georgia, when we say Oklahoma State's going to Oklahoma State, Iowa's going to Iowa, all that stuff. But I don't feel it here. I don't. There's something different because it has to be. Almost like this thing. You mentioned that no Hopkins, but a guy who's been relatively healthy and played is AJ Green. He's still got some game left.
He does.
James Conner out of the backfield. I think that this is a game that's set up well for match-wise for the Cardinals. So I don't have that feeling, and I don't think it's the same old Cardinals. But again, if it is, they'll prove it. But then the question is, because I think this is more about Cliff Kingsbury, right? It's more about their coach. Can he get over the hump? So this is a big bouncing back after a divisional loss, and where you could have controlled your destiny and made it a little bit easier on you, but losing Monday night, you got to come back and make this a statement game. Or else everybody in the league, if you don't come in here and do what you need to do, and it doesn't mean you have to pummel them. It doesn't have to be a squash match, but you got to come in and play Cardinal football like you have on the road all year.
I know, and everybody's jumping in our YouTube chat thread, the social media discussion, all that stuff. Everyone's kind of reaffirming me and saying, "Hey, the Cardinals are gonna dog walk the Lions like that. It's gonna be a smashing." And I'm getting uneasy about it. D-Mac, I already have the eggs on the line with Joy, the veteran move of getting the 14 points, by the way.
I know, you I saw that. The veteran move, I don't think it's going to matter. Like 14's a lot, but I see, what did I say yesterday? It's like a 10-point game. I don't think that the Cardinals are going to be in jeopardy, but I could be wrong. And the more that you get, like, you're all getting all worried even more. Like, this is more realistic than you are a little bit worried. So
it's just
now I got to think about it, but I don't. I don't feel that way, so I'm not worried about it.
And it's, for me, it's because of those factors, right? The Cardinals in December has not been a good formula. 7-0 on the road, man. I can't even remember the last team that went undefeated on the road. So you're just going on trend.
Yeah,
going on what happens.
How about
typically.
go on who they're playing? They're playing in the Dome, what had just happened, what they need to do. I guess I'm coming from the perspective of an athlete that has known there's certain games that in order to be looked at as, somebody who, like the team that can be dangerous, right? That like somebody who's a threat, somebody that can get there. Then you need to win these games and you need to bounce back. See, I would be more the younger team, and have they matured? If they won a big game on Monday night coming in here, I would be worried about a letdown. I don't think the other way because they're not there yet. Does that make sense?
No, it does.
They haven't got to that hump over the hill yet, so this is part of climbing. And if you're smart and if you're in you have a young locker room with some veterans like the Watts and the Ernsts and stuff like this, then you understand the imperativeness of this game.
Yeah, and everyone's trying to make me feel better, and I appreciate that. And I do. Where was it here? 44-17 Cardinals. Joey, 2 times, though. Arizona keeps playing down to the competition.
That's what Neil's saying.
They've done well on the road. I mean, they're winning road games by double figures, too. I mean, they're getting it done. And I gather, D-Mac.
Didn't you have the smell test like this against Cincinnati?
I can't remember if I did or not. I may have. Did I?
Yeah, you did. And they got
I hope
trucked.
I hope it's the same.
I mean, I just remember the Cincinnati game because Stick sent a picture at halftime with 10 bags of leaves that he'd gone out and raked because it was over. That's how I remember. So
I forgot about that.
I think it's going to be more of that game.
Yeah, I'm concerned. And there are some out there. Stephen Baffey says any given Sunday, you just never know. But again, Dan Campbell talked about playing with this depleted roster as well. And that certainly is a challenge, but they've been dealing with that challenge for a while now. So, I mean, the roster and everything like that, it is what it is. I'm curious, though, to hear what Dan Campbell had to say about playing with that depleted roster.
Yeah, well, I mean, are you talking about like right now with where we're at? It's to come in and play and help us win, and as fast as you can go.
Are you telling them we just need, we need some short-term help, or is there an opportunity for these guys to sort of...
There's always an opportunity. I mean, nobody's played more free agents than us. I mean, that's a blanket statement, by the way. I don't know that, but I would assume we have to be up there. And so anybody looking at our situation, you'd love to come in here because you're getting an opportunity, whether by injury or now what we're going through here. And so, man, we'll get those guys up to speed as fast as possible. And, man, you may be thrust into a role immediately. Some of these guys are. So let's get them up to speed and give them a chance to have some success and then evaluate off of that and see where they go. So it's, hey, you got a great opportunity, and let's see what you can do. I mean, no different than Craig Reynolds last week. He showed, he's worthy of continuing down this road with us.
And anytime I can get a Craig Reynolds reset.
Craig.
I need to borrow your VCR right quick. I need to dub a tape. Come on, Craig. Get up,
Friday.
Craig.
It's Friday. You got no job.
But that was Dan Campbell. I did like, again, AC, I think it was, or Juice's Ghost had the comment. He got fired. How are you going to get fired on your day off, Urban Meyer? Who gets fired at 1 a.m., by the way, too?
But didn't it apropos of the way that you end that chapter, the story, the book, the way that it's put the bow on it at 1 a.m.? I mean, that's when he does his best work.
Right.
Bang.
Machiavelli Sucks to Go says mask with a question mark. Yeah, Dan Campbell's wearing a mask, and that goes to show you too. That's a visual for those of you watching on YouTube. That's a visual for how serious this is.
Yesterday the protocol where NFL made it for 1 and 2 tier, whatever that is, play. But obviously, so to my point, last segment, you asked me about the bowl games and what. So the eye test tells me that there's the NFL. Maybe they don't come out and say it, but it's more serious than maybe I think because right there, mask, press conference. Okay.
It's getting
Stay tuned. It is real. It's not getting
No, I mean,
real.
like, it's getting serious.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And to that point, right, about the mask, that should tell you.
That should tell you, and it does tell you. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the Red Wings tonight because for those of you that don't know, they've had a couple dropped in COVID protocol in the form of Arabi Fabry and Rasmussen. And DMAC, for a team that we'll get into it when we get back. Let's just do it like that. We'll get into it when we get back. And hey, you know, I've been talking about the Lions and the Cardinals game. Woodward Sports has you covered for the Lions game day. We'll be live downtown at the Tin Roof in Detroit, brought to you by Woodward Sports and Jose Cuervo, Braylon Edwards, Ryan Armani. Maz and Jade from WRIF will host a pregame show live on Woodward Sports and 101.1 WRIF, also available on the social channels as well. Then you go into Ford Field, and when you come out, head on over to the Brass Rail. Stick and Anson will be there with Jim Beam and Truly. The 2-minute warning, they'll start their broadcast, get all the crowd interaction, all the crowd reaction as well. There's DJs, a drink. There's DJs, drinks, a Woodward VIP section as well. There'll be food and more. Stop by after every home game at the Brass Rail Detroit.
It's that time of the year again. Time for our second annual Stuff a Studio with Woodward Sports. Last year, Metro Detroit came together to help make the largest single toy donation in Mott Children's Hospital history. This year, we make it even bigger. Stuff a Studio is happening December 13th through the 17th at the Woodward Sports Studios in Birmingham. The children in Mott Children's Hospital fight so hard all year. Now it's up to all of us to help bring a smile to their faces. So while you're out holiday shopping, make sure you pick up an extra toy or two and help us spread some love to Metro Detroit this season. We look forward to seeing you December 13th through the 17th as we stuff our studio with Woodward Sports and Meyer.
Woodward Sports Network, let's go! Ho, 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 ho!
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, four-time Stanley Cup champion, former Red Wings great Joik Bell will be back with us on Tuesday. Fish is in the bowl. Sawyer is in the production booth as well. I mean, you crushed eating donuts today? I saw you on the cupcake life today, huh, Sawyer?
Yeah, we just went with the cupcake this morning. Had to get a little dose of sugar in me.
How many did you eat?
Just the one.
Hey, the question
Really?
is, did you go back for a third?
Second?
Were you chasing the high?
I got forced into the third because there was one left, and I'm eating lunch, and Stick comes up, and he's taking the box, and he goes, "Here, eat this." I'm like, I don't want it. And he goes, he's like, it's the last one.
Here,
And I was
eat
like,
this. I
fine.
got forced into it.
Did he kick you in the leg?
The answer is yes. He went back.
Did he kick you in the leg and say, "Hey, eat this effing donut"?
He did.
No, he just said, "Here, take it," and I was like, okay.
He said a monkey can do your job, right? And he said, "Eat this donut," and he kicked you.
Yeah, I was just sitting there.
There it is. You were just sitting there like that. Mind your own business.
I wanted to say that was a jelly-filled donut, too.
It was
I think it was a
one?
jelly-filled donut, yeah.
That brought me back to like first donut level though, because that was after a little while. So then it was real good.
It was back first donut level after a while.
He's
felt
romanticizing. It did not replicate the high of the first donut. There's no way.
The jelly kicked it in for me though, just because the sweetness of the jelly.
And
all
the
other
hard work
donuts.
that he put in for the 2-hour shift.
I'm talking about the satisfaction though. The satisfaction level wasn't the same, Sawyer. You know what? You can lie to us, Sawyer, but damn it, don't lie to yourself.
Don't lie to the people. Don't lie to the people.
But I mean, I don't know. I did the full show.
So
hadn't had a
bottom line
donut.
is there's no donuts left after you were done.
No, I was the finishing
So that's good,
blow.
right?
Yeah,
Just like Deion Sanders
I will say,
said,
if you want a
we
donut
gotta
story,
eat everything on our plate before we go outside and play and stuff like that. Good job, and thanks.
Thank you.
again,
I was just
Alan.
doing my part, as a big man.
Your
in the
team
office.
guy.
Yeah.
What do you got, Fish?
If you want a donut story, I did hit up like the last 5 or 6 Timbits they had yesterday while watching Arsenal and West Ham yesterday.
Did you really? You crushed him, huh?
Yep, after the show, because Maz is doing his legacy thing that I film, and so I had to wait for him to get all the names, do his prep for tomorrow's show, sit back down, do all the things he does. So it was a while, but yeah, I had some donuts and watched soccer. It was a pretty good day.
Jake Wegener says, "They were twisting my arm. I had to eat it." That's an unquote from Sawyer.
See,
he
I
was
used
saying
to
that.
say, see, you understand, Sawyer, exactly. Back in the day when I said they used to twist my rubber arm to drink. Exactly.
Twisting/kicking him.
So Sawyer, Sawyer's the donut. He's the closer.
But he's our offensive lineman, so, I mean, it's sort of apropos. You sort of have to do that, and you were right in doing that. You had to take it for the team, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do the dirty work sometimes, you know, the work nobody wants to do.
But
I got to get down and dirty, eat those calories.
That's the nature of the beast. No, sorry, everyone appreciates you around here. And that saved other people from having to eat it.
Exactly.
So you are. You're a good dude. There is no question about that. We had one on here, and I forget who it was that asked. We'll give you 60 seconds on it, Sawyer. Somebody wanted to know your thoughts on Mercedes dropping the protest in F1.
Ooh. Oh, it was Steve Brown, too. I see it right
Oh,
here.
was it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, Steve Brown. I mean, I felt like they kind of had to do it. The PR was just getting so out of control. Like, everybody was crapping on them. So it just wasn't a good look. And then they probably knew they weren't going to win it because it wasn't like a real court. And then I did see today, though, Toto Wolff and Lewis Hamilton are not attending the FIA end-of-year ceremonies for Formula One.
Really?
So that's like pretty big, too, because that's very political.
Oh, absolutely.
There's other big news. I guess that what happened Sunday caused drama to Lewis Hamilton, so he doesn't even know if he'll return to racing again.
That'd be big. That'd be real
And it's not Lewis Hamilton anymore. It's Sir Lewis Hamilton. He got
he was
knighted on
knighted.
Wednesday.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
With the,
You get knighted when you lose?
yeah.
How you get knighted when you lose?
Well, I don't know if he got knighted because he lost. I think they just chose Wednesday, and oh, by the way, he kind of choked. But
I mean,
it
I wouldn't
just
say
happened
he-
I think
that it
Sawyer
was
broke
Wednesday.
that down on Monday.
Okay,
It
yeah,
was
I
his
wouldn't say
team
choke,
that
but
broke
yeah, the
because of the
team.
lack of the pit stop.
Yeah, the team choked.
I think we're getting
But-
a little loose with this whole knighting thing, by the way. Is that fair to say?
Well, it's only a British thing.
We've kind
Here,
of jumped
you
the
know
shark
what?
on knighting.
Hold on. You know what, Sawyer? Can you put a list together maybe for tomorrow, for Friday's show, just of some of the famous sirs or maybe people that have been
Sir Nick Faldo.
Well, I know, but knighted in the last little bit.
I think we're getting loose.
To Neil's point, we're going to do a dive in tomorrow. We're getting fast and loose with the sir. And why I don't have one? I'm Commonwealth.
I mean, I got a list right here.
Yeah, you
on
are.
the Googles.
Okay, apparently all of you guys are knight insiders here, are Sir insiders. Detroit Dabber, he had already been knighted. It was just a ceremony that was previously postponed because of COVID. Excuse me.
Okay.
But I think it's a little easy to become a knight these days. All right. For before, I would think you'd have to like survive years of combat in armor on horses and jousts and stuff like that.
Be a Vietnam veteran.
Like do something. You know what I'm saying?
Now you just have to drive a race car and win races.
See, that's weak, man. Get it together, Britain. All right? Can we get a little more stringent on the knighting rules? Come on.
That is pretty cool.
Apparently, Clint Eastwood and Robert De Niro were both knighted by French people. They're knights in France.
Oh, you can get knighted in France too?
I guess, yeah.
Man.
That's what Lord Google's
Can you
saying.
get knighted in
Lord
Amsterdam?
Google.
I don't know.
Here we go
That's
again.
where I'd take my knighting.
Everybody talking about Juice's Ghost. You're my guy, man. LOL. Why is there so much knowledge on these subjects? That's my question. Like, what happened? And Juice, look, this is why I didn't want to do it. I knew in the back of my mind, if I went down the F1 road, that this all was a possibility, where it was all going to come from this, and here we are. We're talking about knights. We're talking about protests and F1 being dropped.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do a show where, like, we talk about things that people want to discuss.
Well,
and
they
here's-
obviously want to discuss it.
You don't
And-
want to hear about Bill Gates being knighted by the Queen of
Yeah.
England?
Can he lift a sword?
Does
Probably not.
Windows?
That's a good question.
Do they
I don't
use
know.
Windows in England?
Ooh.
Maybe. Maybe that was like a deal. It's like, I get knighted, I give you Windows 11.
I wonder
I don't.
what the criteria
They
is.
probably use Windows in England.
I don't get it. Steve Brown.
They have Five
has
Guys.
tested-
Elvis Costello.
I'm not, guys. I'm not testy today. I'm not. Can we all agree that it's a little easier than it should be to be a knight?
Yes.
Can we? Do you agree?
To put the sir on your...
Yeah, Fish. Do you agree with that statement? Do you think it's getting too easy these days to be a knight?
Sure. I mean, I'd have to look at the list of how many people have been knighted.
I do know. I do know
but-
something of world. This is true. If you buy property in Scotland, you can officially
Yeah, you're a lord.
get a lord.
But
You're a lord.
New World, let me ask you this: so you say it's too easy? Do they deserve it though? Like all the people that are on the Sir list.
No, they haven't. They haven't
Neil's
fought in any
point,
battle.
it
They don't wear
sounds
armor.
Like the NCAA runs the knighting division of the castle, the Windsor Castle.
Like Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion F1. Sir Nick Faldo, a golfer who's won many titles, many Masters, many major championships. So, maybe they're awarded of knighting.
I don't know. I think at some point you have to have survived a battle to be a knight. You have to have worn the
rules
armor.
changed.
Yeah, you had the little visor on, and you jousted another man on a horse, and you had to have knocked so many people off the horse. Like I think that you have to drink Guinness beer. I think all that has to come into play. You don't just show up and knight someone.
Not gypsy.
You have to be around scurvy.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be missing at least one tooth from scurvy. You have to have been on a ship for over a month during one part in your life.
They've lacked. They've just
Knights are soft these days. What happened to the good old days of knighting?
We got to see. So this is like AD and BC, right? What is the drop dead date that you take the Sir serious before? Right? That's all you're saying. We're gonna dive into this. This is huge. Can't have. But I am impressed. That makes me feel good at all the people that know stuff about this. That just
I'm concerned. Like I thought I had our audience pegged.
No, that's my part of the audience. That are just that's a grind time DMAC stuff that stuff that you're not supposed to because you watch YouTube getting those holes on.
Here we go, you guys.
Unknown things and
Robert, Neil. There are 3 different types of knighthood. Oh, tell me more. AC, the monarchy has no power anymore, Neil, and I can see why. Because they've gotten too soft. They make just anyone a knight. I can see why they've fallen out of power. Look at their standards, DMAC. It's gone out the window. Dom Rivera, 88. It's your generation's fault. Y'all stop knighting. I don't. Angelina Jolie also became a Dame. Wait a minute, Dame Commander of the most distinguished order of St. Michael and St. George in 2014 for her services to the United Kingdom's foreign policy.
Look at that. See, that's a good award, right? No, not really. Okay.
Well, okay, you know what? I didn't know that they do that as well. I don't know. Daniel Gray, I was born in England. I can answer any England question. No, I don't have any more questions. We're done. We're finished with this. There's no more Formula One.
What's the best fish and chips?
No, there's no more Formula One discussion today.
They have pretty good pizza, by the way.
There's no more knighting discussion today.
Sawyer, all I got to ask is look at Neil and say, oh, wow, how do we get into this? What brought this upon us?
Formula
One.
Yeah, it was
The
you.
Formula
It
One.
was you. You, sir, brought us down this great rabbit hole.
No, see, this
We
is
should
on me.
revisit this.
You know, sometimes in life you can never just point the finger at yourself. Today is one of those days where I can just point the finger at myself and say, I created all this. I did. And I knew. The worst part about it is...
Didn't you have fun?
The worst part about it is like when you're at a casino and you bet red, say on the roulette wheel, and you know in your heart it's going to come up black, but you bet the red anyway and you lose. That's where I was right there with the Formula One question for Sawyer.
I thought you were going to say when you bet red or you bet black and it comes out green.
Well, that too.
That's what
I
it was.
left the door open to this, and I let you guys just push the door open and walk through. And that's me. The only thing I can do right now is lay out till the next commercial break where I can get the things back on the trail.
Did you see the veteran move, the veteran producing move by Sawyer in there? When he learned this from you, Neil. He went right to Steve Brown. He knew that his guy right there, so he engaged the audience right there, so he knew he could get an extra 2 minutes out of it. Who knew we'd get into knighting and sirring and the softness of society, especially in the castle of the monarchy?
You guys tell me. That's the only question I have. Is it too easy to be a knight these days?
Yes.
It's a yes and a no question.
Yeah,
Yes
just
and no.
yes or no. Is it?
And for all of our knowledgeable fans out there that know about this, when did it change? What year did it change? Because it seems hot and cold to me. You know, it seems hot and cold to me. And you know what? When it's hot and when it's cold, I think of the temperature. Right outside, as it's windy today, getting hot, getting cold. But you know what? No matter what, you could start a new career in an industry that is always essential. Yes, the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting Northwestern Tech. .edu, Neil Rule, DMAC. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Be right back.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. One mortgage myth we hear all the time is having to choose between a 15 or a 30-year fixed term. At Hall Financial, we offer the modern mortgage to create a flexible term that fits your unique financial situation. Our team of mortgage experts are available 7 days a week to review your goals and customize a solution for you. Get started today with a free 5-minute mortgage review at 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
This is out of control. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion here on Woodward Sports Network.
You sound very happy.
Fish, Sawyer, all that stuff. People are asking for tea and crumpets in the YouTube chat thread right now. Oh, boy, boy, boy.
By the way, we can go back to England. Another Premier League game got postponed today.
Ooh. So
The Formula One's still going on, though, right?
No, it ended on Sunday.
Oh, it did. That's right. That's right. We'll get by,
Look
though.
at he's doing it to himself. He just can't get off of it. He's so intrigued and enamored.
Spencer wants to know what even is a crumpet. That's a great question. I don't know.
Sounds
I don't
good,
know.
though.
Yeah, I don't know. What I do know, though, let's try this again. The Red Wings are in Carolina tonight. They are scheduled to play the Carolina Hurricanes. They will be missing Robbie Fabry. They will be missing Michael Rasmussen, too. D-Mac, see, this is what I'm talking about with it's not sport.
Right.
And for the Red Wings right now, could this 2 points be the difference? Could a point be the difference? I mean, it could be. It could be for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Well, it always is at the end of the year. You're going to go back
Right.
and you're gonna look at it, and even more so this year with different teams. Oh, shoulda, coulda, woulda, this, that, or whatever. They're playing in a. There was a lot of speculation and talk about this game being postponed tonight because Carolina's got a ton of guys out. They're not even going to field the 20. They're going to field 18 guys. Right, that's even with all their taxi squad, this and that. So, unfortunately, I did. If you looked yesterday, we did pucking around. We focused on Robbie Fabry with his new deal. Michael Rasmussen, who scored the winner the other night, obviously with a great middle lane drive by your boy Zadina. So they're going to be missed with what they're playing. But every team's got to deal with this. It's not, to deal with this until somebody says we're either going to stop it or we're going to change the testing protocols or whatever else. Because the more that we sit here, Neil, and as the clock ticks and whatever that we talk about, you see what it says. Fish just brings up the fact, another game over in Europe. This is worldwide again, right? To me, this is, this is something that is going to get more serious. And you look at the biggest, they could afford, I think that the Olympics, and if you look at, we haven't even got into their protocols and stuff.
That's
like
not happening.
That's not happening. That's
happening.
done. You can might as well just, even your boy Connor McDavid come out and said,
we're
that's
not feeling
gonna
that.
work. And that's a nice way to say, screw that,
No.
right? Because it's just not going to work. But I think that slowly but surely, something's going to happen. And here's my question, right? Is it taken out of the sports, and is it something that's done more mandated, governmentally, right? Are we at that point again? So, who knows?
And the bottom line to it for me right now, the Red Wings are hanging on to a wild card spot. Granted, Boston has 4 games at hand and they're 1 point behind. I understand how that math works, but still, this has been an accelerated season, I think, for the Red Wings. They have outkicked even, and you were very optimistic. You were more optimistic than me, but even you didn't forecast this. As we roll into the holidays, they're sitting in a playoff spot right now.
Yeah, but and how could you? Because the biggest question marks were your young guys who had never played, and the Siders and the Raymonds, and you got to remember you're having Bertuzzi back, then you got Nedeljkovic and stuff like this, and these guys are playing above the rim. So if you hit on your 19, 20-year-olds and they can come over and play because of their development stuff, then you're further along. But again, so talent-wise, we know we have the speed. right? We need a few pieces here and there, another goal scorer, which you're going to get back when Verona comes back. That's like making a trade at the deadline because of his injury. So they're in good spots. Now it's figuring out those little things on how to play like champions, how to play consistent, how to play in the league. And these young guys haven't done it before, so they're all learning this together. And in doing this, as you see, like I'm going to give you for everybody at home, look at all these COVID lists, that are affecting different teams. And it's not just in one area. It's not like all the New York teams or all the Metropolitan. You got the Predators, you got the Flames. You look at, what the Preds announced today, that the team has 6 players.
And 6 support staff.
Yeah,
in
and 6
protocol.
support. So there's just 12 people there. 7 players.
In Calgary, 7 support staff there as well. So it's working its way through. There is no doubt.
Here's
Bruins,
the whole thing: is you look at the
Bergeron.
flight path of the travel and stuff like this, and it's hitting sort of everybody. It's all around. So I guess who's got the idea of what it is to do? And I think that, Neil, to your point, and it's not being crass, but if you're vaccinated and whatever else into the team, then why are you still testing? There's different rules where you can go out in public and do things like that. So as long as it's consistent around the league, because everybody's got to deal with it. But again,
it's just I'm upset because that's a big blow, and I know Fabry's a -11 on the season, but it's a big blow for the Red Wings who are going to have to scrounge and claw and fight and get every single point that's available to them, because it's going to come down to that. We know that already. It always does. So we know that. And for them to be shorthanded, I think is an injustice to the sport. It's an injustice to the organization. I mean, granted, I'm not saying that I have the answer, because I don't. I have the two opposite ends of the spectrum that we talked about. Either shut it down or stop testing. And I don't care which one you do, just do something, because what we're doing now is not it.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? It's like there's a little hole in the balloon, right? And it's the water balloon, and then you can see that little, the water's
leaking out, and we're not doing anything to stop it.
Can we plug this hole, or what can we do? Are we going to put a Band-Aid on it?
Because think about it, D-Mac, for this Red Wings team to make the playoffs this year would be incredible. It'd be incredible for this fan base. It'd be incredible for one of your pillar fan bases. If you're the NHL, if you're the National Hockey League, this is one of your top 5 fan bases in the game. There's no doubt. I know we've been dormant for a while, but there hasn't been a lot to cheer about, with all due respect. But it would be so big, and for it to be lost on what we're doing now, which isn't hockey, it's not, man. I'm sorry. It's just not. And Lucas Raymond's a point-a-game guy. And Dylan Larkin's, all the stuff that I asked for. So you need players, man. Guys that can score. Guys that can get assists. Because you keep score on the scoreboard by pucks going in the net. And for this Red Wings team, my heart would break if it comes down to this. And they can't get in the playoffs because they missed out on 3 points, because they had 5 guys down, with COVID protocol. And it's just not real.
My perception is different, because it's sort of like this where the expectations aren't there. So all this adversity, I know, because of the adversity, what it prepares you for moving forward. So it's not the end-all, be-all, but it would be nice to be able to see them control their own destiny and not have it, because it's the same luxury as I've said. They don't have the luxury to not have their best players in the lineup. When they have their best players in the lineup, they can compete with every team.
Yeah. Skipper Sawney says the Florida Panthers are nuked right now. They have like 2.5 lines, 4 defensemen. And they started out, they're the best team in the NHL. You know what I'm saying? Like they're essentially a shell of what they were right now. And that's not hockey. That's not NHL hockey.
No, you're right. And then when you see more of the numbers and how it's affecting, and like I said, I would expect if it continues through this weekend that you might see the NHL, because you've seen them postpone games. You've seen teams miss 4 or 5 days or whatever to slow this down. So the more that it's in every other sport, the more that it continues throughout not only this country but throughout the world, it's got to be addressed.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, and we'll get it back on the ice. And Robert says Formula One talk is way better than COVID talk. And I don't disagree with you, Robert. I mean, I will say this about I do like Formula One. I do. I'm a fan. I love open wheel racing. I lean more IndyCar, Sawyer. I do, but definitely Formula One is up there in my power rankings. NASCAR, I just don't. There's a certain elegance to open wheel racing. I'll say it like that. But anyway, turning back to NHL discussion, and somebody asked about it in the YouTube chat thread, D-Mac. Zadina needs a goal, man. Let's just take 2 minutes. Let's take 2 minutes here. I know there's energy, but I can't talk out of both sides of my mouth, D-Mac. Players like Zadina, the energy is goals. So I'm either seeing goals or I'm not. And this is about the spot where he comes in and puts in a power play goal, like tonight. I'm just saying, if you got your MyBookie, you got that bonus money in your MyBookie account, take old Zadina to score the first goal tonight. I bet you get a little handsome return on that, too. It's about that time for Zadina to get a goal again.
No, it is. And
am I being unfair?
No, you're not being unfair. But you're being unfair because that's how you judge him. Right? That's how, because here's the thing. And even because that's what the kid told you. Okay? I get it. But that's not what it means something to Steve Yzerman or means something to Jeff Blashill. Because what they're seeing are the development in them. They'll take it in the long run.
Tell me, D-Mac, as just a media guy that watches hockey.
It goes to show
why are you sold?
The opportunities that he get, but it's developing him that they think of being the two-way player that they need him to be. Now, the scoring's supposed to be there, and we can all agree is that the opportunities. And if you're supposed to be this pure goal scorer, you need to put the puck in the net. Yeah, we're all waiting, but until then, while you're waiting, his game's not suffering, or he's still doing some of the little things that he needs to do to be an NHL player. Now, is he ever going to be this elite goal scorer that we thought he was going to be, that he told us he was? Doesn't look like it now. But the reason that he's still, and you know what? It's the hashtag Wiser plan. I don't sit here and focus in on it because I look at the temperature of what's around, right? Consistency is what he wants.
I'm not driving. And again, guys, let me qualify. I'm not driving this to be negative here. You asked this. We're talking about my guy Zadina.
Yeah, to your point. So again, it's all part of the growth, and I look at it as, you know what? If this year, as this team, I show that clock for the Lions all the time. The Wings have a clock in my head also too, and right now it's sped up, but it's also too different guys are at different points of the meter, right? It's not all the same. So Zadina, it's about potential. It's about what fits with what they want, what they see, goes to the work ethic, everything else in there, and hashtag Wiser plan to what Stevie's big play is. Because the minute that he's not in the plan, hence Anthony Mantha, he'll be moved. Stevie's proven that. It doesn't matter who you are. So to me, they see something, and I see something. I mean, I want to see more goals. But again, when that comes, right, it's just like me fighting. Okay? Yeah, okay. Say I got in a few fights and a guy got the better of me or whatever. I'm not going to stop fighting. I'm going to get back on the horse and you get better, and because then maybe I'll just pick an opponent that I can get my confidence back with.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So he's going to get there, or he's not. Maybe he's one of these guys he should have been. But at this point, the commitment to him
here's where I'm upset, D-Mac, is at the beginning of the year, and upset's the wrong word, I'm sorry. You talk for a living.
You wanted 20 goals.
But I wanted first-line power play time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted the best shot. I wanted the best opportunity for him to see. What changed? Because that was the talk. Remember, that was my big point. Was you're going to throw him out there on PP1?
Okay, but whose spot is he going to take? Or
well, no one's now because the production's not there. That's not how that works.
No, but I'm saying with the way that it is, with Raymond, the way that he's played,
sure.
Larkin, Bertuzzi's back, right? 3 guys there, Sider, Roenick. Depends. You've seen Zadina get put back on defense. You've seen Zadina get beat one-on-one, let up a shorthanded goal against Cal Clutterbuck against the Islanders. The positive
that hurt him. That hurt him bad, didn't
it?
And
negative. Well, it doesn't help.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you also got to earn because if you're not earning it, other guys are, and if you're not scoring and if you're not making things happen on the power play, then other guys are going to get the opportunity. I mentioned it yesterday at the final of the Pucking Around. As you watch this Wings power play, is that it looks like Alex Tanguay has made a conscious decision to run it through Mo Sider instead of Philip Hronek.
Yeah.
So
well,
and
they made a conscious decision to score goals on the power play this year too. That's the decision I like.
Now listen, you know what? I can't help Zadina with the goals, but you know what?
Help him with his hair?
I can help him with his hair because whether it's hockey, soccer, football, cricket, it doesn't matter. You can watch it all. Where, guys, be honest, we like stuff simple, things uncomplicated. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. You walk in, you sign in, you sit down. Before you know it, handsome and clean. Get the Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. The rule breaker, D-Mac here. Big D Energy on this Thursday. We'll be right back with Woodward Sports Network.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
No off-season for us. We're talking sports. 365. Detroit Sports Network. Woodward Sports.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, motoring through the second hour of the show. Big what up, though, to everyone listening on the radio, 93.5, The Roar, 99.1 FM, 94.7, HD2, Detroit's newest all-sports stations. Jake Wegener, Neil's too fancy for the blue-collar NASCAR, LOL. I don't know. Robert wants to know, Neil, how's the Vegas Golden Knights COVID list? Stop. I see what you did there. Justin Reed said, I'm not mad if the Wings don't make the playoffs this year. They're working and playing above their talent level. They look like the future's bright. And that's fair. You know, I think that's certainly fair. I like where they are. Don't get it wrong. Like, for me, it's the whole Zadina factor is what the issue is for
Zadina,
me. And that's how it wraps up into all this. You know, being down guys and in the mix right now for the playoffs and everything like that. You know, that for me is where the COVID thing is really hitting hard. It is. And that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, but you know what? It's also, too, I look at the other way they play in the game. Opportunity. No Fabry tonight. No Rasmussen, Neil. So the Fabry power play time. I like your bet, but this is the opportunity for not only him, but for other guys to step up, right, in the lineup. And it's unfortunate because you like to see consistency, and when I've been talking about that third line with the Meskov, Ernie, and Rasmussen, and them to be able to come through in a tight game when, 2-1 against the Islanders the other night. So, again, tough place to go in. Carolina's a great barn. They got a great, they got the Caniacs and stuff like this, and they're a great team. So again, the inconsistency and the way that they've come out on the road, especially first 5-10 minutes, has sucked. Get it right tonight.
Fish, we got one here for you from Pete Smith. Can you break down Babar Azam versus Joe Foote as the best batsman now? Who do you got?
Who are the people again?
Babar Azam versus Joe Foote. Who's the better batsman?
Oh, I think that's Pakistan.
Wow.
I think that's from what I'm hearing.
Babar's got the power, right? And you know what? His contact is really up this year. That's been allowed him to get more runs and more ends. Right?
Look at D-Mac doing his cricket. I like that out of you, D-Mac.
I've tried with cricket, Fish.
Oh, it's fascinating.
You want to hear my cricket? Why I got into cricket? I forgot what year it was, but we went.
Did England knight you, and you just figured you had to, or what?
I went to the Bahamas with Drapes and Larionov one for whatever else, but
did he get knighted when he was in the Bahamas?
He should have, and I hope you're talking Larionov, not Draper, right?
Y'all should have got knighted.
Anyway, so.
It's so easy.
I fell asleep on the boat. We went out fishing. I got sun poisoning, so I spent 2 days on the couch, like chills. You never want sun poisoning. It's the worst. But the National Cricket Finals were on there, so I watched them. And then I got into it. So when you're forced there, so Neil, I was force fed it, and I guess I took some back because I knew one day I'd be with fish.
There you go. Absolutely.
God, if you think baseball's long, watch cricket. Ooh wee.
It goes on for days. At least.
Well, yeah, especially with a test match. That's my favorite format. I just love it. So much strategy behind it. How you're gonna throw the ball, how they're gonna bat, how they're gonna spin it. What are you gonna do? You're gonna try to go for power and get out, and then your team's gonna kill you, or you're gonna try to just stay there and just bat the ball, just boop, little hit. So much strategy, it's incredible. I mean, you could have one guy standing there for like 6 hours.
Wow. That sounds thrilling.
Absolutely fascinating.
And then he'd probably get knighted after it was over. You know, if he hits it with the paddle one time or whatever, he'd probably get knighted after one time. So, yeah, I don't understand it. I don't get it. But that's fine. I'm not saying it's wrong. Like, do you if that's what you like? That's a cricket shirt you have on?
No, it's really just the New Zealand national color. They wear this in cricket, rugby, and all their stuff, but
I get it, man. I'm taking a lot of heat too for not liking NASCAR, D-Mac.
You're not.
That
allowed.
doesn't surprise me.
If you don't like NASCAR, we don't want you. Don't worry about it.
It's not that I don't like.
Robin's racing, baby. That's a soap opera too.
Give me IndyCar Formula One over it.
Formula One.
No. I need some rubbing, some racing, some pits, some guys being mad at each other. All that schmaz. It's too fancy. That F1 stuff's too fancy. Too much money.
Hybrid, though, it's great. That's why IndyCar's so good. It's like the hybrid of Formula One and NASCAR. It's like a hick Formula One.
You and I know. Don't tell him. He doesn't deserve to know.
It's great. You gotta love IndyCar. The speed and everything going on. I mean, 8,500, greatest race ever. So you just can't miss it.
Absolutely, Joey. We got a guest here in the studio. Who do we got, man?
Grab the mic, Joe.
Mama Balto.
Oh, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Absolutely.
Good morning.
I saw you came through with the sack of toys, huh?
Yeah. I just had to come see my favorite Joey and bring some toys.
He's everybody's favorite, Joey.
Oh my God, he's crazy.
Joey's my guy.
Did you ever think that Joey from Friends would ever there be another more favorite Joey in the world than Joey Namu?
I'll tell you what. If somebody's going to get knighted, it should be Joey.
Yes! Can we please
now that I would
knight
support.
Sir Joey Namu? I think we can agree. That might get the credibility back on it.
Joey, do you and honestly,
have you been knighted already?
Have you been knighted already?
Cannot comment on this yet, boys.
So it's in the works, you're saying?
It's in the works.
All right. No, but we appreciate you coming through here at Woodward Sports and bringing the toys for the kids at the Mott Children's Hospital. Yeah, what do we got in there?
Well, I brought 6 dolls.
Okay.
So 6 baby dolls.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
look at that.
Got a bunch of them, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is pretty cool. I'm amazed, but I'm not amazed because it moves me a lot too. The way that people, and we have a constant flow of people coming through the studio.
Yeah.
I mean, as you guys can see all around us. I mean, for everything that's going on in the world, people like you and everybody that's come through here, it really makes me feel good. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, paying it forward, that's what it's all about. And just happy that we can donate.
Yeah, absolutely. But I know the kids certainly will appreciate that. And guys, as I talk about, we're doing the second annual Stuff a Studio here. We're taking toys here at the Woodward Sports Network. We're at 34915 Woodward Avenue, right in the heart of Birmingham. We're doing that today till 10 p.m. We're doing it again tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And you can also go on the website at woodwardsports.com and donate. It's been moving how many people have really taken this thing to heart. And as we talked about, I mean, there are kids there that have only been there. They're not going home for Christmas.
No, right.
Which really has an effect, certainly if you're a parent, spend time around kids. So
yes, I'm very
we appreciate
blessed,
you.
So happy to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. But we do appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming on.
This is my first time to the studio, so I'm going to look around. Yeah, it looks great. I love it.
Absolutely. And we'll talk later about the movement to get Joey knighted officially.
Okay. I'm in. Whatever you need.
I like it.
We're counting on. We're counting on you. But thanks again for coming.
I'll make him a crown.
Another one? Oh, Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Bye,
appreciate that. No, but again, we're doing it. So if you want to get involved, feel free to come through and get involved. If you have a business that wants to get involved, come on in. We'll shout you out. Everything we can do to make sure that we're making some some holiday magic, I guess you could see. Lane Kiffin was in the news, and he was talking about how free agency has hit college football, and it's called name, image, and likeness. And for me, and I love Lane Kiffin, I do. He's entertaining. He gets it. He's riding around and recruits cars and, listening to rap music with them. It's entertaining. It's fun. I like Lane Kiffin a lot.
But doesn't he, because he is a younger guy, but he comes off like he's not trying, that sort of, he comes off like who he is. And I think that's why you see him be successful at places he's gone, is because he can relate, like you said, for these reasons. And it seems like it's more him, right, than it is a coach trying to fit in, as maybe one in this state, figured out that wasn't him. It seems like he's figured it out, yeah.
But these coaches, though, that come out, and be it my guy Lane Kiffin or be it not my guy Dabo Swinney, who says, I'll quit the day that the college athletes get paid. Well, it's here now. And I have a hard time with coaches that want to preach and say, this is free agency, this is the destruction of college athletics, especially coaches that make, $9 million a year, that have really free agent autonomy as well, that can bolt in the middle of a chase for a playoff spot, that can bolt before the bowl game, to where we can have two college football blue bloods that are playing each other in a bowl, and neither of them have coaches because both the coaches left to take the bag.
And that's the real problem there, is the way the system is set up, right? To the fact that we mentioned this yesterday, why is national
I don't have a problem with the coaches doing it. I don't, because you don't get what you deserve in life, in the business world. You get what you negotiate. Agree. I know. I mean, you get what you negotiate, and I don't blame the coaches for doing it. My problem is when you're a coach and you do it, and then you complain when somebody else wants what you have.
Well, that's it, right? No, it's the complaining and it's all that stuff like that. It's you want rule that's what you find, right? That's what you find. But it leads me back to to the Mel Tucker signing, to all the different things that are going on, from the Brian Kellys to the Cristobal's to all this shuffling of chairs. Now Urban Meyer coming back. To me, when it's like Dhop, or you hear guys sort of complain, it's like, I want my cake and eat it too, when really everything's right there for them to begin with. And how do you... I lose respect for somebody that gives you his end-all, be-all, stand on the hill speech, and then when it happens, and then he, oh, well, I didn't mean it. You know what I'm saying? That goes to the credibility. But there's enough money out there, and to whatever else. Yeah, Neil, to your point, right? You got to get what you can get, and you can't blame anybody for doing that. But it's like I say, at the end of the day, when you put your signature on it, that's your commitment. So if you don't like it, then do a better job yourself. Don't be worried about what everybody else has. You got to compete with yourself.
And don't get me wrong, like the college coaches that negotiate their contracts, those are in there a lot. Reduced buyouts or no buyouts, which are basically a ticket to go somewhere else. Your agent puts that in there. Good for you. Go do what you want. Go do what you want and go get your bag. And I'm for that. If somebody comes along with an offer that blows me away, or if you're somebody out there, if you're working at your job right now, if another company comes to you and says, hey, come work with us, we'll double the salary, guess what I would advise you to do? That chair should be spinning. They should come around the corner and say, hey, Jim Smith, where'd you go? Like, deuces.
Deuces, yeah.
I'm out of here. I just doubled
Jim,
up.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, I just doubled up the salary, because that's what it is. Your boss would do the same, I would like to think. And yes, and I'm talking about commitments. When you set up a contract, D-Mac, when you have time in the league, you could have went to management and said, yeah, I want a no trade clause, or I have to approve the trade before I can be traded. There's a list of teams. You earn those types of things based on your skill set.
Those aren't given away.
Right, which guys like Lane Kiffin or Brian Kelly or stuff like that, their skill set has earned them that. That is true. That is true. But at the same time, you're not saying, or I'm not saying, I think that the players shouldn't be able to do what the coaches can do. I can make money. I can go do commercials. I call college sports for a living. I can go do all that stuff. Why can't the players?
No, I agree.
And I'll never say that.
Right, but it's the same sort of reason where you're talking about, we had this conversation about players playing in the bowl when they're jeopardizing their draft status or money in the future. They got to make a career decision. This is sort of like what the coaches have to do, but they're sort of forced into it because you're always, what have you done for me lately? You're on your next recruiting class, so if you stay behind and miss out on that next class, you're sort of behind. So all that sort of comes in. I think in today's day and age, what you see a lot of times, what because of the money you're dealing with, is that a lot of these top guys put that clause in their contract is, well, I got to have the average of the top 5 guys or something like this. I got to be in this. So their salary fluctuates as the market fluctuates. So again, that's why you have agents. That's why you have people that do that stuff for a living, to do the questions that you don't, because at the end of the day, when you put pen to paper, you agree to something, you should believe is stand by your word, just like you would expect your
And if you don't
employer.
want to, you can write that in there.
Absolutely.
That's
write
again,
everything else in there. Exactly.
I don't have a big problem with it with the coaches. I just have a problem with the coaches that complain that the players who generate that money that they get. I have a problem when they say what the players should or shouldn't get. When we come back, bowl season is starting tomorrow. I want to take a look at that. We'll have to go to Sawyer. Mike G wants a Settlers of Catan update, so we'll go to Sawyer for that. All of your comments as well.
For that, Settlers of Catan.
We'll see if Sawyer's going to write one of those. We'll be right back. We're coming down the stretch. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network.
Settlers of Catan.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Opinions are like ear holes, and we're putting ours in yours.
Well, that's not winning, joint.
It's Woodward Sports.
Coming on the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. He's D-Mac. Darren McCarty Joik is out until Tuesday. We're working on getting T-Foss in here tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we are.
I know we'll have the Detroit Lions hometown hero.
Here's the whole thing. Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. I mean, man, there's a rumor that I heard that T-Foss noon game might be out there for the festivities as Grand Marshal or something, and then he'll be back. But I don't know. We'll get with T-Foss tomorrow and figure that out.
I'm all for the athletes getting paid. A lot of these football players come from low-income families, so the money really helps them out. And for me, it's even more than that. They generate it, so they should be able to capitalize on it. And I'm not even saying you have to labor agreement it or anything like that. Just if somebody wants to give them money so they can endorse a product, why not? They're them. They should be able to capitalize on that. My big problem is just the complaining from the coaches, as usual, because the coaches are the one that have the big time money. But speaking of that, and it's funny, I guess, maybe I'm being hypocritical, I don't know, but I love bowl season more than most. And we're getting ready to get into it tomorrow. The Bahamas Bowl will kick everything off. There it is, every single college bowl matchup as you're watching on YouTube. And you have Middle Tennessee State and Toledo, and then that will be followed up by the Cure Bowl, Northern Illinois and Coastal Carolina. Look at that on Saturday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bowl games, concluding with the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. And wow, nothing says tradition more than the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. What's your favorite Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl memory, D-Mac? Take me back to a simpler time.
You know what? It's unfortunately, I'm too old, and that's past my bedtime. So I usually fall asleep right before kickoff, right before he gives, the coin toss and stuff. So I haven't caught it. I'm gonna have to dial into that. But like I mentioned, the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Now, naturally, our show is going to gravitate towards the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, which features Washington State and the U.
Is there, I like the Dukes. Maybe it's because I like Dukes mayonnaise. But the North Carolina, the Gamecocks, South Carolina. Is that right?
Yeah, North Carolina, South Carolina. Did you hear what Dukes is doing for that?
No.
They're offering a $10,000 scholarship donation to the winning school if instead of Gatorade they dump a tub of Duke's mayo on the coach.
I'm all for it. Let's go. What are they doing at the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl?
Smashing a lot of smashing a lot of spicy chicken sandwiches.
Imagine that. I'll tell you this: winner gets free Chick-fil-A. That'd be sick.
I'm sure they all get.
I wonder if you get do you think Chick-fil-A does a huge spread for the teams?
1,000,000%.
Okay.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
Imagine what that locker room looks like.
Imagine what it smells like. So good. Imagine how many tubes of that sauce you could get.
So my question to everybody: what's your favorite dumb bowl? That's my question. Okay, Robert Colosia. I just Amazoned Catan to the toy drive addressed to Neil here for the Stuffa studio. Settlers of Catan is coming here to the studio. And you know what?
On its way.
Yeah, it's on its way. And a big shout out to Robert for that. David Mentier says,
"Thank you, counsel."
Yeah, David Mentier says, "I want to see the Barstool Bowl." I do too, because just
to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah, Central and Boise. And it's New Year's Day, right? Like, it's going to get lost in the shuffle. And I secretly think the NCAA did that on purpose with the Arizona Bowl because it's Barstool and they're not fans of Barstool. I mean, they don't hate them enough to not take their money for the bowl sponsorship. No, they don't hate them like that. They're still going to take the money. But they're trying to, shoehorn that bowl around the playoff bowls and, the Sun Bowl, the Terry T. Foss world-famous Sun Bowl. I think that that's the reason why they might have shoehorned that one in there. And I'm curious to see, because I saw on social media yesterday, Dave Portnoy of Barstool was talking with some Miami Hurricanes fans. And they were talking about recruits and stuff like that. And he said, well, yeah, let's get him a bag. And he can like that.
Yeah.
It's just fine to do that. I'm going to be amazed with what they do with the Arizona Bowl. Amazed to see what they do with it.
Well, I think that's the one to be most excited, or how is it going to be different than, I guess, the norm of that. I'm privy to the Cheez-It Bowl. I like that one.
Gotta love Cheez-Its.
I think we can all agree, though, the worst bowl, we could, obviously Hawaii would be great to go. The Bahamas would go this, that, this. But nobody wants to go to the Pinstripe Bowl. Nobody wants to go. I know it's Yankee Stadium.
Iconic venue.
But who wants to play?
No, they
go
don't.
watch a baseball game. That's what it's iconic for, Fish.
And they made a Fenway Bowl, too, I'm pretty sure, that they just...
They're actually right next to each other.
Right in the middle, yeah. They just basically... The Wasabi Fenway Bowl, okay.
Oh, yes.
And they just essentially copied the Pinstripe Bowl, and that was it. I'm not feeling that one either. Neither is SMU, I'm sure. They're not feeling that either. So, yeah, I'm curious what everybody's favorite dumb bowl is. For me, Shad 216 JF says Liberty's about to get clapped by Eastern Michigan. I don't know. Malik Newman's got some cake on the line in that game, man.
Ooh.
So we'll see. We'll see how that one shakes out. Everybody does love Cheez-Its. So,
I might have some tonight.
And the Outback Bowl, you can't go wrong there.
Oh, yeah, the Outback
They have the
Bowl.
steak eating contest in that, right? Like the offensive linemen eat 40 pounds of steak.
Oh, man,
and-
sorry, bro. We should have been out there. We could have.
That would be awesome.
We need to line up the
good.
live show from the Outback Bowl, I think.
Yeah, or let's go to the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl.
See that
would be
that was
so
my
much
OG.
fun.
Yeah, that was my OG favorite bowl because that used to be the first one. And it's at it's at the Superdome, Caesars Dome now, or Caesars Sportsbook Dome, whatever they call it now. Even though the NFL hates gambling and hates being affiliated with it,
But they love that green stuff.
love that money.
I could go for some beignets down.
I love me some New Orleans, man. It's one of my favorite cities. It's up there with Vegas.
I love Cajun food.
Me too.
I love everything. I love the vibe down there.
Robert says Holiday Bowl is at Petco this year. The Holiday Bowl is a staple, I think. That one in San Diego, Barry Sanders had 5 million yards in one of those Holiday Bowls back in the day.
That's San Diego. That's a good one too. I think it's nice, the nice weather, and I guess because it's crappy at this time of year, we'll usually have snow on the ground. But any other the new
I mean, would you be open to a live show at the Idaho Potato Bowl?
No.
No?
I do like Boise.
No?
though. We played there a couple years ago. Boise is a pretty cool
You'd be
place.
there with like
I'd be
20
there.
other people.
That'd be cool.
I'd do it.
I like potatoes.
Be out in the mountains. Yeah, I like potatoes. We can make a bunch of French fries.
Ooh, they got the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
Can't go wrong.
I mean, I would like to go see that. See Coach Prime in action. Skipper Sonny says, I'm going to the Gasparilla Bowl. I am bitter about the Quick, because I do go to the Quick Lane Bowl.
Yeah, what about the Quick Lane? It's right in our backyard.
I know, but it's at 11 a.m.
I know.
Ugh. We're doing the show. I guess the solution would be to do the show at the Quick Lane Bowl.
There we go.
Like live as the Quick Lane Bowl is going on.
There we go.
I'm bitter
I used
about
to
that, though.
They switched it. It's not on the 26th anymore. It's on the 27th. There used to be Boxing Day bowl game. They screwed me this year.
Yeah, because I used to go to it when it was the Motor City Bowl and all that. There was a great game, Marshall, when Randy Moss was at Marshall.
I remember that game.
Against Ole Miss, when they had, I think, Deuce McAllister. That was a great game. So, I'm a big fan of the bowl games. AC says, I'm going to the PlayStation Bowl. I need a PS5. So, I'm wondering who what bowl games do you like? And those were mine. I guess for me too, the ultimate one is going to be the Hawaii Bowl. And here's why. It's not just my love for Hawaii and the late night get right specials. It's not just that. It's that it's on New Year's Eve, and I have watched pretty much intently every minute from the second quarter on in every Hawaii Bowl, because as you guys know, I have 3 kids. I've been putting together toys throughout every Hawaii Bowl for the last decade.
So is that the Neil Wright, Get Right, Christmas special bowl season, end of the year, West Coast late night pick coming up?
I'll get you one. 9-6. The Get Right's close strong, man.
No,
they
I
did.
just wondered, do you put your eggs in that basket and give the people pick for that game specifically because
I'm going to be watching? I may do that, D-Mac. You're right. I will.
Just
I'll get you right.
Here's the thing. You should have a vote for the player of the year in that conference.
I should.
Because if somebody brings up who the player of the year is.
I'm pretty much a guardian of the Mountain West Conference.
That's all I'm saying, right? You, sir, should be
Should I be knighted?
Neil Rule of the Western Athletic Conference. That's what it actually should be. And the only thing on there, fellas, that I didn't see was the Guardian Alarm Bowl. But you know what? We're going to get to that because Guardian Alarm gets it. A good defense on and off the field that helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm is state-of-the-art technology, helps you feel safe. All with 24/7 monitoring right here from your phone if you like. Turn on the lights, temperatures, unlock the doors in case it gets on fire, smoke detector, or the deadly silent killer, carbon monoxide. Now, if you want to be part of the Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network family, you can be. But I need you to call. The number is 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Give me a hot Thursday. Big one fish. 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of my house. Get away. Donate toys. Have fun. Weekend's almost here.
Donate toys. Weekend's almost here. Yeah. 1-800. Stay out today.
Go enjoy the Bahama Bowl.
Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years of keeping families safe. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Big D Energy, Neil Roll, Darren McCarty. We'll be right back.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
The pros know. Go! Listen Monday through Friday for Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network with Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty, former Lion Joik Bell, and the silky voice of Neil Rule.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Fish, and Sawyer here as well. Happy to have you all with us. Taking your bowl comments, bowls you like, everything like that. Epic says Neil's commentary on Office Donuts had me dying yesterday. Hey, you're always chasing that donut high. That's what it comes back to. And
I can
Sawyer,
go for one right now.
D-Mac was smashing them too. Skipper says Gasparilla Bowl sold out, 70,000, probably better than some of the other well-known bowls. Who is that one? That was what, a Florida and Central Florida?
No, it was UCF, South Florida.
Central.
South Florida and Florida.
Central Florida, UCF?
UCF is Central.
Well, I think it was USF.
University of Central Florida.
I think it was USF.
Southern Florida or Central
I think
Florida?
it was Southern. It is Central. Okay, cool.
It is Central Florida.
It's a C,
all right.
not an S.
Yeah, I figured. You know what though, low key, I figured that
They're
one
very
was probably
similar,
going to do
D-Mac.
well.
Yeah, they are very similar. Actually, the USF plays out of the Raymond James.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I figured that bowl was going to do pretty well though, because those Central Florida fans are going to want a piece of the Gators, because they're struggling this year.
We think, from living down there for parts of 6 years and stuff like that, we think that our interstate rivalry or whatever, but when you get a chance, especially the UCF, and I was down there when Scott Frost was down there before he came to Nebraska. And
when they won the national title?
I was going to say when they won the national championship.
When they won that natty, right, exactly. But yeah, the attitude there from some of the fans is when they get a shot at the big dog, right, the Florida States, they're all in.
Yeah, they do.
They're all in.
They can't
they're
wait.
all in together. It's cool.
It is very cool. Lions Rumble 81, the Rose Bowl is always and has always had a special place in my heart. That was Woodson's Bowl. I'm with you. That is one I want to go to. I do want to go to the Rose Bowl. And it wouldn't matter who's playing in it. It's just those camera shots, man. When you get the pink sky out there right before the sun sets all the way. I mean, it's one of the more picturesque, one of the more iconic scenes in sports. I mean, I put it up there with the Masters, with all that stuff.
No, it does. It has that landscape.
Yeah.
Right? The landscape that because of over time at a certain point of the day, but because of the ambiance, because of filling that stadium with what it means, the parade, all that things that goes around it with the Rose Bowl. Because growing up, that was of all the bowls, especially because that's the one that the local teams would vie to get to from the Big Ten. So, yeah, it's always, I think, because of the allure that it had as a kid, but also too as you get older and you're going, man, that is such a cool picture that you can get again, right? You can go out there and say, man, I can recreate that because nature happens.
And it does all the time. Jake Wagoner, they need to try to have a Guardian Alarm Bowl. Or they tried to have a Guardian Alarm Bowl, but everybody stayed out. So that continues to be everybody's favorite commercial. So, and that's cool. That's cool. AC says, Neil, you should call a bowl game. They should. The Quick Lane people should holler at me. I may need to get some football reps in. We'll see how things shake out. Gasparilla is like the Mardi Gras in Tampa. You can't have a true Mardi Gras in Tampa unless Terry Foster's there.
No, it's really not a party unless T. Foss is there or whatever, because he has the rules. Not because he's a party animal, but he knows the etiquette to tailgating and the perfect partying, how to do it properly with his hosts.
Have you called a football game before?
Yeah, just high
An
school.
American football game?
Yeah. No, just CFL, Fish.
Well, no, I know.
Just Australian rules and CFL. Those are the only ones I've called.
Well, I know you called European football for Detroit City Football Club, which they're in USL 2 now.
Game over in Ireland on the
high school football.
Oh, and you enjoyed it? You thought it was fun?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Fish, I like calling sports, man.
I didn't know if there was a difference between your Oakland Grizzly basketball and your DCFC football and then your high school, and if there was a difference.
Fish, we got a couple minutes. Let me piggyback off your question there. Neil, what is the difference between basketball and commentating football or whatever? What is it? The
downtime you get in between plays.
Because I see
with football.
Who is it? McDonough, Sean McDonough has this board,
love that guy.
This piece of paper, or he's got this clipboard. I've never seen it. I think it was Monday night where he's holding it on there. But it has all the names and all the different colors.
I have everyone, like every play-by-play announcer has some variation of that. Like I have mine, but because I call so many different sports, I have it formatted all the same. So it's basically just a roster. I know the football guys like to put their guys like in the position on the field. Then you flip it over. You'll have like the offense on the bottom and the defense on top.
So
and then you flip it over, and
right?
it's all personal preference.
Remember how you.
So, I mean, for me, like I said, because of all the different sports I called to start my career, volleyball and softball, baseball, football, soccer, basketball, all of it. So I just kind of had one uniform thing where it could be easy and repeatable, and everything's color-coded, so I don't have to memorize things. It's really got it down to a science.
That's your flow.
That's my flow.
You got your flow and you figured out that, and now everybody, your dream job is to call NBA basketball, right? But it's also too here's the thing, to be able to be versatile, to call anything and being up to speed with it, and like you said, the downtime. Football's that downtime between plays. Baseball is the sort of same way.
Yeah.
Where hockey and basketball, because the plays are going on.
You get in a rhythm with basketball and hockey, and they have, like guys like Ken Cal. Those guys are animals, man. I mean, just how quick it moves, and to be able to keep up.
Yeah.
And I've already noticed too, as I've gotten like a little bit older, like it's become a little tougher to keep up. You know what I'm saying? Because it moves so much faster all the way you go. NBA basketball flies. It doesn't look like it, but try talking.
Well, especially now with them just jacking up 3-pointers every play now.
Okay, old guy.
Well, what? Am I not supposed to say that they're just jacking up threes after every shot?
Somebody clean the fishbowl. He's getting curmudgeon old.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
The fishbowl. He's taking in too much algae.
I'm just saying that if you shoot threes every single play, it must be hard to call because you say, "Oh, 3 went in." You're telling everyone who the player is, who got the assist, maybe, and then all of a sudden another 3 went in. They got to talk about that shot. Then someone goes for a dunk. It's gotta be tough.
Absolutely. Hey, we appreciate everybody tapping in to the show today. Sawyer Fish, good job out of you guys as always. We'll be back tomorrow. Terry Foster will be in the house, right?
Yes, he will.
Absolutely, he will.
House.
We'll have
In
our
the
Lions
captain's
hometown
chair.
hero. We'll talk a lot of football as well. Big D Energy right here, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.
Gang, gang.
It's that time of the year again. Time for our second annual Stuffer Studio with Woodward Sports. Last year, Metro Detroit came together to help make the largest single toy donation in Mott Children's Hospital history. This year, we make it even bigger. Stuffer Studio is happening December 13th through the 17th at the Woodward Sports Studios in Birmingham. The children in Mott Children's Hospital fight so hard all year. Now it's up to all of us to help bring a smile to their faces. So while you're out holiday shopping, make sure you pick up an extra toy or two and help us spread some love to Metro Detroit this season. We look forward to seeing you December 13th through the 17th as we stuff our studio with Woodward Sports and Meyer.
Woodward Sports Network, let's go! Ho, 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 ho.
Oh, jeez.
Give me that biscuit. I'm going to bury that.